like this is always prohibition, which means putting more people in jail.
How big is your appetite for the war on drugs? I'm sure it's small. It's shrinking every single day. Don't let them continue it. Don't let them outlaw more stuff.
Good point.
Thank you. Polite
It's
about
just
it.
not the polite way to have sex.
That's just
I-
really one way to have sex that's polite, and it's to say, ma'am, or sir, or non-binary person, would you like to enjoy some making love with me? And then if they answer yes, then you mount that person and you move back and forth politely, and then you kind of finish it up and you say, that was great, and then you never mention it again. That's the right way to have sex, okay?
And folks, and that's why we don't do any sort of sex advice or sex stuff on this show, because there's none to be given.
I am wise!
I want you to write the polite sex book, like the proper polite method.
I just said it.
I mean, I tell you what, even the jobs that paid me nothing, like when I was first learning them, it was like, all right, I can do this. You just need somebody to get the plates and make them go from here to here. I can be the master of that. I was really into that, and I can do that. But after a while, it's like, you guys treat me like shit, and I get the plates from here to here every fucking time, and you talk down to me and shit. What's going on?
Jesus,
you're counting my lunches. Like, you're looking at what I'm eating. You're like figuring out when I'm going out to smoke. Like, all of a sudden, you're in my shit. But all you said you wanted from me was the plates to go from here to here, and I'm getting the plates from here to here.
God, that was the most accurate representation of how I feel when I get a job. At first, I'm helpless. I'm a little baby. I'm sucking off the teat of the manager to tell me what I need to do. You know, I don't want to, my wings aren't fully formed yet. And then once I learn what I'm doing, I'm like, y'all could treat me a lot better for this. I deserve a lot more for this.
Wow, this is some bullshit right here. Now that you kicked me out of the nest and I'm flying through the sky and trying to flap my wings here, I don't think you're giving me enough.
I don't like this
You
at
didn't
all.
set me up right.
How many times have you gone into work and then looked at your boss and said, what are they doing? You ever think about the levels at a job, Brett? Of course, the people on the very bottom. What do they do?
Usually clean.
Yeah, and then there is the people just above them. They're the ones that do the second hardest job at the place, right?
Deal with customers?
Yeah, that sort of thing. And then there's another level above that, and that's the manager that's in the place. Now let's think about what comes after that, right? You might have a guy named like Glenn that comes to your office every 6 months, and you have to lay out the red carpet for Glenn. Think about what the person above Glenn does. Jerry is the person above Glenn, right?
Okay.
His job is basically going to lunch, right?
Yeah, powerful meetings, shaking hands real hard.
We're gonna go up to the CEO now. The people that sit around a table and who knows what they're doing? Nobody knows what they talk about.
Playing cards.
What connection does that person have to what you do and what the customer gets? It just seems like you could really chop like 5 or 6 levels off of any job and the company would still run perfectly.
Think about your job. Now imagine your manager isn't there. How much smoother would your day run?
I mean, how many of you work a job where you don't even know who the fucking CEO is of the company? That means they're absolutely useless. They're parasites.
They're on the top, getting most of the money, sending their kids to private school, driving the fanciest cars, and they can't make a sandwich. Every new level of hierarchy is more money coming out of your paycheck. Unions are fucking great because it's not HR.
You need solidarity with the other workers. We need to use that and exercise that. You and your other workers are the most important people at that company. I mean, hell, the way I think about it, maybe you don't get a union at all and you just take the whole company away from the bosses, and that's called a co-op.
For the almighty dollar, everyone's a slave. Cause what's the point of doing shit if you ain't getting paid?
You know, you probably hear people constantly talking about this horrible thing called capitalism.
I have.
Yeah, you've heard that?
Yes.
You're like, what? How does capitalism affect me? I will tell you, it runs your entire fucking life. You've probably heard of socialism or communism. Communism.
And they say they try to control your entire life. Your whole day is taken away from you. What control do you have over your day now?
Most people have to be chained to a desk for 40 hours a week, and they're not allowed to leave.
When you wake up in the morning and you feel like shit and you have to wipe the sleep from your eyes and like look around and be like, why does this have to happen this early in the morning? That's a capitalism.
And it controls everything, like your healthcare, your education. It all comes down to making money, but some things just don't make money. Honestly, ask yourself, how afraid are you of getting an injury and how that could possibly fuck up your life?
Yeah. You're being stopped from skateboarding, breakdancing, doing anything fun, because if you get injured, you're fucked forever. You can't go to work.
And so then you have all these people that say, well, we can make a kinder capitalism, a more conscious capitalism. It isn't gonna fucking happen. We need anarchy, we need socialism, we need communism, we need anything but more capitalism.
But wait, Brett. When you go to the grocery store, you have almost unlimited choice. You can buy 100 different types of cereals.
All made from the same stuff with different graphics on the outside.
All corn. It's basically just a bunch of boxes of corn.
That's capitalism.
It actually treats about 1% of the population like humans, and the rest of us like tools for those superhumans. You don't have any money, your bank account's low? I know where the money is. Jeff Bezos has it, the Waltons have it.
And they took it from us, right?
They took it from us.
We're just getting our money back.
Yeah, your work made that money. You deserve that money. That's your money. The 1% has never decided to do the right thing. That's why we have to take power and just spread it out among the 100% of people that exist.
Before we commence expelling this ghost from this location, before we save Jake from the lock, I will light the ceremonial herb that will give us the sight, that will give us the power we need to set Jake free. My Twitter's not working out here. Let's see if you can get a ghost. Go ahead and try.
I summon thee, ghost, into ghostly ghostness. Come the fuck out if you're a real ghost. Now. Demand it. This is how we fucking hunt ghosts. And as we've pointed out, and as we've said, there are no ghosts.
So this is where the ghost lives, from what we know. And he's not home. Let me see, let me try this. Jake, you may overtake my body. I accept you into my heart and soul. Please, if you are here, take control of me. Use me as a vessel.
Gross.
Nothing.
Yeah, no ghosts. So I guess the lesson of Beaver Creek is there's no such thing as ghosts, there's no God, and the Bible is a lie. Off to Helltown to find out what the government's up to in the middle of fucking nowhere, Ohio. Hell yeah, bumping out here. Can I get some of this safety herb in my lungs, please? And thank you, are welcome here. Jake, you can't have any because they drug test.
Yeah, if you go to work, man, you're gonna get drug tested.
Jake, you son of a bitch! You get out here! Hey, Jake! Ain't coming. He ain't coming because he's afraid of me, Brian Quinby from Street Fight Radio. Brett, would you like a shot at Jake?
Yeah.
I just fell in a hole. That was Jake. That was all Jake.
I think
Jake
we found
do
the
that?
ghost. Jake won't let you see your mentions. He's like, don't look at your phone while you're at work, motherfucker.
Can you imagine being that sensitive? Like you.
Well, that's
like
what
that
they're
is the
PC as
ultimate.
hell.
Hey, you know what? This is the freest goddamn country, and it's so free that if you don't stand up, you aren't a free person. And goddamn it, boy, if you don't stand up right now, you ain't free. Because you have the freedom to do whatever you want. But I'm telling you, I have the freedom to make you feel bad for doing the freedom. Just get up and say you love it. Just. Hey, friends, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to Street Fight Radio. It's the Basement Show, Wednesday night. We're here to talk shit like we have for the last 10 years, trying to spread this mess across the U.S., create dissent and disruption, create a more horizontally organized society that works for all of us instead of against all of us. We are here tonight, just Brian and I. Sorry. We're here, just Brian and I, reading stories, talking about the world. On Sunday nights, we do our call-in show, so if you want to call in and talk to us, we do that Sunday nights from 9 p.m. to midnight. And we are now also working on our Get Motivated Premium series, so if you want more of what we do on our Patreon for $5 a month, you get access to not just Get Motivated, you get access to all of the bonus audio that we've ever done. And right now we're working through the self-help gurus. We did Robert Kiyosaki, we did Dave Ramsey. Tomorrow night we're recording about Tony Robbins with Kath Barbadoro, who has actually met Tony in real life. And we're working out the rest of the month, but it's a perfect time to get in, support the show. That's how things keep moving. We want to keep spreading the mess across the U.S. You know, as we get closer to doing touring and stuff, that'll come back. But the digital warfare, you know, we have to build up our artillery and fight against all the other stupid ass people that want to keep doing America. So that's why we're here. My name is Brett. My co-host is Brian. How's it going, Brian?
Over here signing into Coinbase so I can buy some Ethereum. It's something I've just learned about in the 2 minutes before we started recording that I feel like I need to own now.
Yeah, people are talking about fintech hardcore right now.
I don't know what fintech is, but I know that you said the words Ethereum, and I was like, oh yeah, I do need that.
You're gonna get. I would keep that to yourself. That's like saying you would take $5,000 to quit your job at Amazon. It's not very popular.
What?
On this side of the aisle.
Why?
Because it burns up the whole world.
Well, don't tell people that I'm doing it then.
You told on yourself.
Well, yeah, but I didn't mean to. I'm not telling the truth here. I'm just signing into my Coinbase and looking at getting like $30 worth of Ethereum because I need some goddamn money. You know?
Trying to gamble?
Well, I'm so sick and fucking tired of watching people make money. And this stems back to about 3 weeks ago when I did the POD cast. In between, because we record.
Don't say numbers either.
I'm not going to say numbers.
You tell people's business.
I'm not going to say numbers on the show, though. I
did on the other show.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, well,
on the video show.
On the video show.
The one we just did for Patreon. You said the numbers.
Oh, I thought I said that before we recorded. Oh, well, whatever.
Yeah, you would not make it in the Mafia. You cannot tell numbers.
I will not tell numbers, but John was telling me he made some money on NBA Top Shot. And the whole time I'm like, what's NBA Top Shot? And he's explaining it to me, but I'm stupid. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, so it's like cards? You know what I mean? Like it's like baseball cards. Are you collecting baseball cards?
Yeah, basketball.
Yeah. But it's baseball cards. You know what I mean, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was like, so you're collecting baseball cards, and he's like, yeah. I'm like, baseball cards are fucking worthless. You know?
That's not true.
They're worthless.
That's not true.
Nobody buys baseball cards. Right. I've been led to believe that nobody buys baseball cards. That the whole system of baseball cards crashed. Now somebody's gonna call and be like,
"You're wrong." I hope you don't think you're right.
I do think I'm right.
You haven't done any investigation at all. It's just because you don't like them anymore. But yeah, they are huge. I get advertisements on Instagram where I can buy shares in baseball cards. There's baseball cards that are so valuable that they'll sell me $10. They'll sell me a stake in a baseball card.
Okay.
In a goddamn Pokemon card. There's $25,000 Pokemon cards that I can invest $100 in.
Why did I think that I had heard that, like, they were making too many of them and all that stuff? Why did I have heard that? Like, yeah, they
fucked up the market in the 90s, but doesn't mean there still is an incredible amount there's an incredible amount of cards that are worth money, but 99 of them are not.
Yeah, like Ty Cobb is still worth, like a Honus Wagner. Is that still worth is that still the most worth card? I don't know. What I'm trying to say is I'm going to get into this. I'm going to get into one of these things eventually. That's what I want to do. I want to get in because Brett, early on in Street Fight, man, Brett was giving people like Bitcoin tips, and he was like, yeah, we should have Bitcoin. It's like really cool. We should have all this Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, that's stupid, because I saw everybody making jokes about it and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it got me, you know? I'm susceptible to peer pressure. And now Bitcoin we would have tons of money.
Right. But here's the thing. You're the person that just knew that it was around. I wasted it on gambling. I went to like Bitcoin casinos and lost it all in blackjack. But there was somebody over the summer that said what I used to do is there was this app called Tippy, and you could assign values to stuff. So when people would like send us an article for the show, I would say at Tippy, buy them a Black and Mild, and it would send them 85 cents in like Bitcoin money, you know?
Yeah.
But somebody told me that their Black and Mild ended up being worth like $200 or $300 later on, and I can't think about it. I can't think about having it before it was worth so much right now.
Sure. Yeah.
It kills me. I texted one of my buddies that said, "Man, I wish I would have just hung on to some of that Bitcoin instead of spending it all." And they were like, "You would have been a millionaire by now." And I was like, "Okay, calm out. You don't say that out loud. Think that to yourself."
Yeah. You can sit around and think, hey, you know, Brian's or Brett's a dumb shit. He got rid of all of that Bitcoin. But like, you know, that's just the way things are, Brett. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
Yeah, that's the way of the world.
That's just the way it works. And you know what? Me and you are always going to be bottom feeders.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
I like it here. I'm more comfortable here.
I mean, I would be more comfortable with money.
But spending all of you have free, like, here's the thing. Your conundrum is you have all this free time to enjoy yourself. You're not obsessed with baseball cards 24/7. Like, you have to be obsessed with that stuff. There's no passive income. There's no easy anything. The part of this Get Motivated series people need to understand is that there is zero easy money. There is no way to get out of this and just like double your money overnight. The GameStocks thing blew up. All of my GameStop experts are all fucking quiet. We're quiet immediately. I know that they left with their tail between their legs on that shit. But there's just no way to get rich fast in this world unless, you know, like, yeah, you have to be on it all the time.
So you have to think about it a lot?
You have to think about it and pay attention to know when to make the money off of it.
Okay. Well,
Like, you have people making money off of that are signing into crypto sites every day or signing into Top Shot sites or whatever.
oh, no. My idea was that I would buy it now and then check back in on it 2 years later.
Oh,
and it would be worth a few $1,000,000.
That's good. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
I'd buy like $30 worth of whatever it is,
Yeah.
and then just check back 2 years later. Maybe it's worth $250. I don't
Yeah.
fucking know.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
if it's worth something, that's something.
Well, that's most likely going to happen.
Is it really?
It's going to go up, yeah.
Yeah,
I
gotta
mean,
get something.
in my opinion, I don't think that it's. I think that it's now becoming common parlance. It's going to be adopted by everybody eventually.
It's
And
one world currency, though. It's like the Amero. You know what I mean? Is that what we're headed towards? Bitcoin? The Amero? Remember the Amero?
Yeah, but that's not legislated by the government, though. This is owned by the people.
Are we taking it away from the government? Is
Yeah,
this good?
they don't
Take
like
the power
it.
back?
Yeah,
Government doesn't like it?
Yeah, this just we can get rid of fiat currency.
No,
but
we've been trying to since Ron Paul.
Climate change accelerates hugely, though.
Oh. Well, I don't want
It's a
that.
trade-off, yeah.
Why can't they make it so it doesn't, like, burn?
Yeah, we need to do solar-powered Bitcoin.
Like, why does it have... God, I know you can't answer this question, and I know that, like, we would have to have some expert call in on Sunday or something to explain it. But why does it have to eat up energy? You know, why can't it just be something that you type in some numbers? It just has to eat up energy. It's so wild to me.
I think it's because it's like if you made the Leafs money, it would like fuck everything up.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If
Like
if it was just some guy typing in, "Hey, there's 500 bitcoins today," you know, then I guess like that's probably not going to be very secure.
I mean, I don't. The problem is that as an actor in this world and as someone that has spent 37 years on this earth, I don't think it's ever going to happen. But the abolition of money is what would solve all those. It's that we don't need it. We don't need money, and those systems that are in place are just harmful. Like keeping score of an invisible amount of value that you have is harmful.
I agree.
Any way you do it, even if it's decentralized through Bitcoin, because the idea behind the crypto is basically instead of having the Federal Reserve keep hold of all the money, everybody gives a piece of their computing power to keep track of all the records of money. And then you're just like, why do we keep track of records of money? We don't need that.
Right. I was thinking a lot about like that crew, the Elon Musks and guys like that are really into this crypto stuff, and them like, you know, the what's the word that the going to Mars. Right? How they want to go to Mars and stuff. But it's like with the people that are going there, it sounds like it would be awful to be at Mars. You know? I mean, it's not going to be great to be here. I agree. They're just trying to jump ship. Right?
Yeah. And I think it's like fracking jobs. Have you ever watched fracking? I watched a fracking video, like a guy working on the job. And it fucking blew my mind how dangerous that is.
What was it?
The guy hooking up the well, tapping the fucking well. There's like,
well, that was fracking?
Chains spinning.
I saw
and shit.
that.
Yeah.
I saw that. That was fracking?
Yeah,
I thought that was just a regular... I saw that video. I was like, damn, man. You know, if I would have got that job, I'd be in shape.
Right.
That's exactly what I thought.
You wouldn't. Everybody that does it spends all their money on pills and meth and cocaine.
Did you see that guy, though?
Yeah. I mean, you'd be in shape. You're right.
I mean, you would be ripped. That guy was ripped, you know, and he's just a regular guy. It wasn't like he was an actor or something. He looked like he could have been in a fucking calendar.
Yeah.
You know? And
fracking that's what fracking does. Let's frack for Bitcoins and get better bots.
Yeah. That guy really did look like Men of Fracking calendar, you know?
Dude, the chains flying around was just like, wouldn't it be so cool to do your job and there's fucking chains flying? You're yanking on chains and shit. Totally kills your body and fucks up your lungs forever, though. So once again, like money, not worth doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess I have to talk about my car again, since I got news about it, and not so happy about the news I got. They're trying to charge me money, Brett.
Wait, what?
Yeah, my car for my
Kia?
recall. Kia
For
what?
wants
some more of my money. What?
When did you get this news?
Today. I'm at war with Kia again.
So, what happened? Maybe if this is your first time listening to the show, Brian's car broke down over the summer. It was a whole kerfuffle. You should go check it out. But now you got that recall in the mail. What? I've never. I have done a recall on 2 vehicles. I've never paid a fucking cent.
I will never take my car in for another recall ever. This has been nothing but problems for me. And
But wasn't your car smoking oil and shit before that?
Right. Yeah, that's what was going on. So it was like, okay, I get a letter. Well, okay. During the summer, my car just feels like it's shitting the bed. It won't accelerate past 55 miles an hour, and it's really bad. And so this guy is just like, I take it in and I say it's not shifting right because I am stupid and I don't know how a car works. You know what I mean? And the guy's like, so it needs a new transmission. So he puts a new transmission in. I pay for him to put a new transmission in. I take the car, it's doing exactly the same thing. So he's like, it's the catalytic converter. Now they give me the catalytic converter for free because they just rinsed me from
A whole last transmission, yeah.
Yeah, a brand new transmission in a car. They took me out, you know? So the oil light keeps coming on and flashing on the car, and I get a letter in the mail from Kia, and it says there's a recall on this car. If your oil light or your engine light are coming on and flashing, your engine could catch on fire. You need to bring this fucking thing in for a recall. And and it said something, and the wording was something like, if we have to replace your engine, we will.
Okay.
Like that's the exact wording.
Gotcha.
If we have to replace up to replacing your engine, we'll do that. And I was like, okay, so the oil light's flashing. I added oil and the oil light was still flashing. I'm going to take it to the dealership for the recall.
Yeah.
I don't, dude, I said this on the last show. I just don't do recalls. Cause it's always some like bracket or some shit. And I'm just like, I don't have time to go in and get a bracket put on my car. I understand how that's brackets. Not safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, you don't have to tell me how stupid that is. I 100% know how stupid it is. My time is worth more than a bracket to me. It's like I don't want to spend the time. Yeah, I'm willing to risk it all. I just don't want to spend the time dealing with the bracket. So I get this thing in the mail and I'm like, well, this sounds like I should take the goddamn car in.
Yeah.
You know?
I would.
You don't want the fucking thing to catch on fire while you're driving. That sounds scary. You know?
Yeah.
So I take it in. And I take it in, I wait around while they diagnose it, and they're like, oh, that shit's just an oil sensor. It's $230.
Yeah.
You know, you just pay us, we'll put that on there. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So I pay them the $30. I fucking leave. Oil light starts flashing again immediately. It's like the second I pull out.
Yeah.
I'm like, they didn't fix the fucking car.
Yeah.
Right? I take it back in. Guy gives me a loaner, which is kind of nice. You know, he's like, we're going to need some time with this car. The system's down. A bunch of shit.
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah. So he calls me today. And he's like, I'd like to catch you up on what's going on with this car. And he just starts saying a bunch of words that he knew I didn't know what he was talking about. You know what I mean? We ran this test, we did this test, and then it seems like it's your it was I know what he was doing because I used to do it at the cable company.
Right.
You toss out a bunch of words
Just to get people confused.
to get, so that when you tell them what you have to do, they'll be like, oh, Dip, yeah, do that. You know what I
Yeah, whatever you got to.
Yeah, that sounds like crazy. You know, I don't want this problem to go on for one more second.
I'm sorry I burdened you with this.
Yeah. So I go, okay, what is that going to cost me? And he's like, you want me to send you that in an email? And I was like, no.
Really?
Yeah.
What? We don't talk numbers on the phone.
He's like, do you have time to listen to me, or do you want me to send that in an email? I was like, dude, I got nothing but time, buddy. You don't know.
I don't like that. He was so scared of asking.
Yeah.
He really thought he was going to do a voicemail on this. He really thought he was going to say, Mr. Quimby, your car is ready. We're expecting $750 when you come in.
Yeah. So I go, what is that going to cost me? And he was like, oh, first we got to do an oil change. $39.99. He leads with that. With the $39.99.
No.
And then he throws in also an aftermarket oil filter on there. So
Okay.
just gonna let you know that.
I'm going to get a good one flown in for you.
He did say Kia oil filters are,
Yeah, you know.
they have a thing and they're better. And I'm like, okay, guy, come on.
Okay.
It's an oil filter. And then he goes, your valve cover something, and then gasket or something. Two things leaking oil. Which, by the way, is the problem that is described on that paper that they sent to my house. And I go...
They initiated all of this. You would have just drove the car to death. And never came back. They asked you to come in.
I would have drove until the car caught on fire.
Right.
Just that would have just been me.
It would have been a tweet that said LOL, and it would be a picture of you standing on the freeway with your car on fire. That would have been the end of this.
Yeah.
They brought you in.
I know. That's one of the reasons why I had to get Psycho today. I had to just... It was like, the last thing I want to do is yell at a customer. Or at a customer service representative.
Yeah.
And I won't do that. I didn't today, even.
Yeah.
I was so fucking even-tempered, but also pissed off.
Yeah.
It was like a double... It was like
You guys...
kind of genius sort of way that I handled this in a way that was just...
Say mean shit in a nice way.
Yeah, but it wasn't even mean. I went like this. I said, okay, so you sent me this thing in the mail that tells me this problem. I'm having that problem. But then you tell me it's something else. It turns out not to be that. And then you tell me it's another thing. And I'm worried that I'm going to pay you $950 and it's not going to fix the problem because this has happened 4 times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The time over the summer and this time. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, I got to tell you, dude, I don't have a lot of confidence that this is going to work.
It's like you're wrapped up with the mob, dude.
I know. And
this feels like a fucking racket. It feels like I would just say, you can have the car, just... I don't want to pay payments on it, and let's just go. I don't want this in deal anymore.
Yeah. So I go...
Fuck Kia forever. Don't buy them.
Yeah, don't buy Kia. So I go... I just... You have to understand that this is how I'm explaining to him. That I don't trust this.
Yeah.
That this sounds crazy to me. And he's like, I'll tell you what. I'm going to talk to my manager real quick. Puts me on hold. Gets back on the phone. He told me I could take 20% off of that right off the top.
Oh.
And I go, okay. And he's like, so what? That's $180 we're taking off. That gets you down to about $750. And I go, again, I have to do this. So I feel like, yes, obviously, I guess just do it. And then I will pay you the $750, but you have to understand that I feel like you're ripping me off. You know what I mean? Because I didn't want to... What do you do next?
Take your car out of there. Take it to another dealership.
You know, that is a good point. I had considered that.
Get it out of there.
I have considered that. I don't know why I haven't.
Don't let
done
them
that.
make the money. Don't let them make a fucking cent from you.
Yeah. That's a good point. I haven't even considered doing that because I just feel like I'm gonna get the same treatment no matter where I go.
Well, you know what this treatment is. I feel like it only get better.
Yeah. I have
There's
been
more
owned.
than one, isn't there?
Yeah. There's more. I have been owned several times by this Kia dealership.
Yeah.
Right. So I go, okay. I guess you're just gonna have to do it. And he's like, are you like not satisfied? And I was like, no.
He said that?
Yeah. He was like, you're really still unsatisfied or something like that. And I was like, yeah. He's like, I gotta tell you, I'm looking at your records here. I see what's been done to your car. I see what's been going on. I totally understand why you're frustrated. But I've only been working here for 4 months. We fired the guy that was working on it over the summer 4 months ago.
See,
and I was like, that doesn't affect me. Okay, well, you got a bunch of fucking money out of me then. Still, and you're asking for more money. That's the thing. So he goes, if you're not satisfied, look, I stand by my work. And if you want to go ahead and call Consumer Affairs, you can. And I'll stand by my work, and we'll see if they can fix it. So I called Consumer Affairs and talked to them. They gave me a case number. And they're like, we'll call you in 3 business days. You know, we'll let you know what we can do. So I think the best result of this is a new engine. That is the best result. That they approve that and it's done and that's just what happens. The second best result, I really believe this, is that they charge me $500 instead of $750. That's just, I think that's all. That's really gonna be like. I think they're gonna take like more money off, but they're still gonna charge me for it, and I'm still gonna be digging into my pocket to fix this thing. That again it's just crazy.
I'd be eating rice and beans and ramen noodles just to get spite on these motherfuckers. I would walk in there. I would take a limo to that place with a tow truck behind me and saying, "You aren't getting a fucking cent out of me. We're heading over to this other dealership."
Yeah, I mean, I should, and this may happen. You know, I'm dealing with corporate though, so the corporate Kia office now, like I'm talking to them. So we see what happens, you know, but there is
didn't do any back talk, man. You said
I did.
No, you didn't. You said, I guess I have to pay this. You need to tell them that they're awful people and that they're running a fucking scam.
Oh, I said
you need to make this person feel bad.
I said to the guy, I'm not mad at you as a person.
No.
That's what I said.
No.
I'm telling you what I said. I said, I want you to know that I'm not mad at you as a person. I think you're great. I just think that I'm being ripped off. I am very unsatisfied with this.
We got to do this. We got to take this. We got to take this to a social media campaign. We have to record a video with you telling your story, and we need to tag Kia on Twitter and Facebook and TikTok, and we need to get a whole fucking brand new car. I'm tired of this.
You know, somebody DM'd me and said that they should just give me a new car. Like, after all this shit I've gone through.
They're going to spend $100,000 trying to get you. They're going to get you to give them $100,000 to not have a new car just handed over.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Let me see what happens. I will.
What's going to happen is you're going to come back next week and say, I paid all the money.
I know. But I want to give them that 3 days where they said they're going to, you know, try to work it down or whatever they're going to do. And then I will do the social media campaign.
There's no reason that you should be paying for that.
I know. I feel the same way. I think they should just replace the goddamn engine.
Well, I think that up to an engine includes the $750 worth of work. That a whole engine is not $750. That $750 is their thing.
But that is exactly how I feel too. The goddamn thing is doing the stuff that it says on that form. Why are they charging me to fix that stuff? Even if it's not a new engine, they should be fixing that. Shouldn't be on me. Just a shit fucking company. Just a shit fucking dealership, man. Just really ripping me off. So that is what's going on with me. It's the worst feeling in the world. If I was broker, I don't know what I would do. Only because I got paid today and I haven't wasted a bunch of money, I can handle this. It's not going to kill me or anything. It's not going to like do too bad for me. But like, God, man, if this was 2 years ago, I'd be hurting, dude. And it's just, this happens to people. This is the kind of thing that happens to people all the fucking time. And it just makes me think about like, okay, like your car breaks down, you're in a pandemic, you've lost your job, and this fucking government, what? Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I mean, how many miles are on your car?
100,000.
It's 6 years old.
Yes.
And the engine needs replaced. The transmission needs replaced. Everything on the it needs to be thrown away.
Yeah.
Like they're doing everything they can to not be responsible for their mistakes. They spend more money on lawyers. They spend more money on lawyers that say, how can we make money from a recall, than they do on research and development to prevent a recall.
Yeah. It really does make me wonder, like, if a lot of people are in this situation right now too. If there's just a lot of fucking people that got that letter in the mail that were like, that's scary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want my car to light on fire, and are now dealing with them telling them that that's not what it is. It's just, it does feel like a scam. It really, I don't think they know how it comes off, like looking, but when I was in there, last or 2 or 3 weeks ago when they changed the oil thing, there was another guy there that was like, I can't believe it. I can't believe this wasn't part of the recall.
No,
I swear to fucking God, dude. It was another customer, and he was standing there. He was paying whatever he had to pay. He's like, I can't believe this wasn't part of the recall.
Yeah.
It was mind-blowing.
They're just taking advantage of dopes. People that will just pay the money because they don't know what to do. It's the same thing as people that don't cancel free trials. Like they're just playing. They're playing numbers. It's like we'll send this letter out. We'll get half of them will give us $700, and the other half we have to buy an engine. But we only spend $100 on those engine anyways because we have terrible craftsmanship.
Yeah, it just makes me wonder. Why in my mind I do attribute some sort of decency to this company still. Like, even at this point, like, why have I attributed a kind of decency where I'm like, I don't think it's a scam. I think it's something bureaucratic happening.
Yeah.
And when it's probably... It very well could be a scam. Like, the auto industry has been scamming people for fucking ever.
That's all of business in America.
Yes.
Then on the books. 3-card money on the street, when you show people cards and then you kind of slide a hand them and show them a different card, that's illegal. That's a scam. If you have enough paperwork and bureaucracy going on, if you have a corporate filings and departments, if enough departments look at it, that's not a scam now. That's not a scam. They're scamming the fuck out of you.
But should I be... That's the thing, though, right? Like,
That
the
person-
guy I am, with the show that I do, with the things I do for a living, and the things I talk about, why am I susceptible to believing that there's decency? Like, I feel like there's decency with these companies. You know what I mean?
Is that
with
what you're
this guy.
thinking?
Yeah. For some reason, I just think it's like a couple of bad people are keeping me from getting my engine, not the whole company. You know what I mean? It's like there's a gatekeeper at Capital Kia, and he is making sure that I'm not going to get my engine because he does. This is what keeps playing in my head, is that he doesn't want to pay for the labor to have somebody install an engine.
Yeah.
Because they don't have to pay for the part. The dealership's not going to have to pay for the part, but they got to pay for the labor, and that's going to cost them money.
Right.
And like, it just makes me think like this guy just doesn't want to do that. You know what I mean? He doesn't want to pay for the labor, so he's doing anything he can to get that labor covered by me.
Right, and there's a bottom line, and yeah, that's exactly what it is. They don't want to spend money on things that don't make them money, and they have some sort of $15 an hour employee that can just seed of doubt you and kind of just politely say no, and you're not going to cause an issue, so they're just going to keep saying, well, that's just... You misunderstood how the recall works. You have to pay for the recall. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a scam. And you just don't ever think about that stuff. You just, I guess like maybe there are people that are, I just am not like, I feel like I'm a cynical guy, but I can't be that cynical if I think that like somebody's gonna like come and save me from this. You know what I mean? Like I still have that like weird white guy privilege thing that's like they're not gonna let me pay for this. Like I'm still in that mode when I know that lady's gonna call me and tell me I have to pay for this. You know? But like in my mind, I'm like, they probably won't. I mean, they wouldn't do that. That, you know, there's more people involved. Somebody's gotta stand up and do what's right. It's like, so no, they don't.
It's you. You're the only person.
I know.
It's all on your, like you have expected somebody else to do it, but you have to stand up for yourself.
I'm trying to be more confrontational. I just don't. Also, just on a personal.
You don't have to go after them. You just have to point out. You have to logically point out why they're bad and why they're fucked up to their face.
That's what I was doing. I feel like I did that today.
Sure.
I feel like telling them that like you did this, you did this, you did this, and it didn't end up working. But then the guy was just like, well, we fired that guy 4 months ago. So, you know, you can't hold me to what happened in the summer. And it's like, okay. Like, it just feels like at some point, you can't just keep getting money out of me, you know? It's just a very weird situation, and I don't know why I don't know why I trust these guys. You know what I mean? It's a very weird thing.
Honestly, I have to say that they told you who they were over the summer. I would have never gone back to that dealership if it was right next to my house. You know what? There's a Taco Bell next to my house. I don't go to it.
Why?
It's horrible. They miss shit all the time. They don't get anything fucking right. The food is fucked up all the time. I don't even go to it. I don't care. I'm not holding it against them. I don't give a fuck. I just know what they serve at that Taco Bell there. So I go to I will drive 45 minutes to go to any other Taco Bell than the one by my house. Because there's been times when I've had a really rough day and I've come all the way home and I open up the bag and my shit isn't in there and I have to drive back there and I very calmly, and I'm not rude or anything, but I just don't want to deal with fucking people that can't do the shit anymore. And they totally took advantage of you. And there's no, you should have drove to Dublin, to Westerville, to Circleville. I would have drove to Cleveland instead of taking it to Capital Kia. Is it Capital Kia in Columbus?
Yeah, it's on Morse Road. Yeah.
We could try to get Kia to feel bad for us. We could also just heap a whole bunch of heat on Kia. We make them buy you a Toyota or a Honda or a Ford. We make them buy you a car that isn't a Kia.
Well, that's what I told my wife, was like, maybe we should turn it in. I was like, the problem is we'd have to pick it up and take it somewhere else because I'm not buying another Kia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, if they gave me a free Kia, I'd drive a free Kia. That
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, whenever, you know what I used to do when I used to watch The Price is Right? Is I would be like, all right, I could sell that car for like a cool car. Like every time they gave away the free car, it's like, no, that nobody wants that free ass car. I would rather sell it.
It could be a down payment for like a muscle car.
Right.
I saw this story over the weekend. I think we got to get to because it's local. It's in the city. And it's interesting. I think we might be getting a caller from involved in that story too on Sunday. On Saturday, February 27th, posts and images started circulating on social media indicating that the staff of Platform Beer Company's Columbus taproom had walked out. A sign posted to the taproom door read, "The entire Platform Columbus crew has quit. The taproom is closed until further notice. Thank you." Now, I want to say that I love this version of a strike for a place like this. For a restaurant, even a McDonald's or something like that. Like this form of protest to me is like you close the place down, which already hurts, but you put that sign on that fucking door, dude. And everybody that tries to go there that day sees that sign. Obviously, this also went very viral, at least locally. And people saw that sign. And all that sign makes you want to do is be like, why'd they all quit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think also for a place like Platform and with a lot of these breweries, they are the epitome of small business tyrants. Because it's usually someone that looks like me, that smokes weed at like the company retreats, you know, into heady fucking brews. Like those people really take advantage of. And the same that we talk about like nonprofits and how they're like, they take advantage of your passion. This is like, hey man, you got like the chillest job on earth and you get a 6-pack every week. You get a 4-pack of our finest 18% beer, you know? Like they are running on coolness, and it's like, hey man, we're all here for the same thing, to sell a good glass of beer. And it's like, right, but you own a house. I make $11 an hour.
yeah.
There's a difference in here that like we're not all vibing at the same level here. You
We
know?
don't make you wear a uniform. Right? You can dress however you want. You can wear your raggedy ass cargo shorts and whatever offensive if you come in flip-flops, man.
Yep.
You know?
As long as you'll take less than $10 an hour.
Exactly. And it's weird because like we haven't had a ton of calls from people who work in breweries.
We've had a couple,
but not a ton. But it does appear to me
this is your time.
This weekend,
right now. No, yeah, I'm just in the future. This is a time to like, if you have experience with it, this is the time to start calling. Because when I posted the story, a lot of people were commenting like, "I've done this job before. It fucking sucks."
Well, let's look at the letter that the employees drafted, which I really liked.
Okay, so I wanted to get to that point too, which, like you said, Sonic.
They did that.
Sonic did an epic quitting. And for Platform, this is a company that does make really good beer and is very popular in Columbus. And for I don't know. I think that in my mind, there's been a change like leading up to the Joe Biden presidency. Like once the Black Lives Matter summer happened with the George Floyd protests and people started pretending to be really radical, like this is the time where I'm going to be like, though, remember you're radical, right? You're radical. You support workers. You support working people. You're down for the struggle. Fist, right? You do the all black square. Like now's your time. The Platform people said they feel this way. And like you said, put it on the door, which is significant.
Somebody come in and do it. Because if you do that, it's a viral thing immediately.
I've stood in front of the manager and said, fuck you, fuck this place. Everybody hates it here. You're a piece of shit, up and down the line, and stormed out. Nobody noticed. The next day, they hired another person and kept it moving. This is the whole staff making a statement, typing their feelings out on fucking paper. Like that shows so much intention. That's like a wake up call to anybody watching. Like, God damn, what if I hated my job so much I wrote a fucking letter and posted it on the door before I left.
Exactly. And there is almost the thing about it is if you're in this kind of business, in this craft brewery type business, right? It would be I would say, look, of course, there's a big libertarian type audience that's into this stuff too. But a lot of the people that are into these very expensive craft beers are people that care about this kind of shit or pretend to care about this kind of shit.
And actually, now that you say it, it runs right alongside coffee, where you're making a substance that people are addicted to that sells itself. And it's really neat that you have a story and an Instagram about it. But at the same time, like if it just said beer on the side, I'd fucking drink it.
Yeah.
If it said skunky beer, smelly beer, woody beer, like I like all the different flavors. It's like the weed, when they started doing the weed stuff, it's like, what's the strain? It's like, I'll smoke any weed. Like if you told me a strain, there's no strain I would turn down. Zero strains I would turn down.
Yeah, that is very funny too. But the beer thing, I think
it's also
like
the same. It's like we're community. We're craft, and also you get into, like you said, libertarian. We're craftsmen. We're craftspeople. Craft folk that are passionate about what we make. And this is an ancient technology, and this is getting back to our roots, and this is all hunky dory. But in actuality, you're trying to pay me the least amount as possible to sell your fucking drugs.
And I do also feel like, I would say probably that a good portion of the people who monetize and build the brewery and all that stuff probably are closer to like a conservative.
Yeah.
Like the conservatives, like a libertarian, like a Gary Johnson guy that, you know, he has some nice flannels.
Yeah.
He wears suspenders sometimes. He maybe has a beard or a handlebar mustache.
Expensive bow ties.
Yeah, he never wears like a baseball cap, but he always has a hat on or a hat near,
Hey,
you know?
Stop picking on me.
Well, yeah, you do look like one of those guys. Like, you don't want to wear a baseball cap ever.
I could step into any brewery if they're like, "This is our new CEO, Brett Payne," and they would just be like, "Whoa!" Once I came out, like I would just stand on the above everybody in the tap room, and then they would just, "This guy knows what he's doing."
You do have the look. You know, you would have to. Well, we've been in quarantine for so long. I don't know how you dress anymore. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have to switch up the dress.
You'd have to switch up the dress because you do have to wear shirts with buttons on them. You know?
I have shirts with buttons.
No, but I'm saying, like, you don't wear them very...
Sure.
You're generally in sweatpants and sweatshirts
That's true.
right now.
Yep.
Which I understand. Hey, I'm not doing much better.
Yeah, my most of my wardrobe, I wear sweats all day long, and if I have to go into public, I put it on for 90 minutes and then put it right back in the drawer.
So anyway... And you're right. Like, I think one of the most effective ways to do a strike like this, a wildcat strike like this, and especially like now,
Yeah,
where it's like there's just, we'll get into it with this letter, there's not really any money coming in anyway. It's like, at this point, if you're working at Platform Brewery, you're working there to work at Platform Brewery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, where you're like, I believe in the beer and the mission and shit like that. No. Because there's just no money in it right now. Or you're there because you have to be.
Yeah. I mean, I think that most people that are working in conditions like that are just have to be working. I think that, like, the fact that they're willing to give it up kind of says, like, wow, this must be horrible. This has to be really bad.
Yeah.
For someone to give up a job in this economy is just also equally astonishing.
Yeah, walking out and leaving a sign, I'm just saying, as like a labor tactic. We've seen 2 or 3 of these in the past, 2 years or so. We saw one at Sonic. I think we saw one at a Taco Bell once. And I just think it's so highly effective. I mean, the shit makes it to Reddit, like, immediately.
Yeah.
And it's all over fucking Reddit. I got this from Reddit. I got a link, and it was, like, on Reddit, and it was, like, this huge thing in the city. And, like, there's so many of the people that are running around the city, like doing everything. They're Reddit people love to do stuff, I think. Like, local Reddit, like the Columbus Reddit.
Columbus Reddit is good.
They, like, just, those motherfuckers go off. They're just doing everything. As soon as something opens, they're just like, let's do it. I have this vision of Columbus Reddit as being, like, all of the people that actually go and do things.
Yeah. Well, there's also the few conservatives that are, like, trying to sneakily call everyone sheep and say they're stupid.
Oh, yeah. I saw a few of those,
contrarian. There's lots of contrarians.
Yes.
Well, not lots. There's a few sprinkled in.
The owner's name is Justin Carson. Over the last year, Platform has let us down. As a global pandemic ravaged the world, the country, the state, and our very own city, Platform's handling of the situation and the praise for its employees has been almost entirely performative. In several of the company-wide safety meetings regarding COVID-19 early on, it was made abundantly clear that the company was making money, to speak nothing of the Anheuser-Busch acquisition or the safety net it may provide. During each of these calls, we were told several times that we're shattering our goals, though none of the boots-on-the-ground hourly essential employees have received hazard pay or any financial support, knowing full well that the tap room itself does not get many customers and, by extension, no tips.
They're InBev now, too?
They're owned by Anheuser-Busch InBev. But I think, from what I can tell...
Was that recent?
Yeah, I didn't know about this either until this story happened. I think that's a thing that people keep quiet, though. these.
Oh yeah, I mean
craft
because they're
breweries
on my
keep
list.
quiet.
You're on the list now.
You're on the Brett Payne list.
Yeah,
I'm not going to drink platform.
All the
anymore.
beer wars. The beer wars started with that documentary 10 years ago, and we don't fuck with them.
If you've never seen the documentary Beer Wars, now I'm not even a drinker, but Brett, when me and Brett first met, Brett got obsessed with Beer Wars.
It's a good one.
For Brett, Beer Wars was his Food Inc.
Yeah.
Where like everybody saw Food Inc. and they were just like, that's it, I'm
They were
changing everything
changed,
about
yeah.
my life.
I was
Everything's
on the
different
patio.
from this day on.
No, man, Goose Island isn't owned by them anymore, man.
Yeah. And Brett would just be like, you know, I remember one time he accidentally bought an Anheuser-Busch beer and like it ruined his night a little bit. Like he was very unhappy.
There was Red Hook.
Red Hook beer.
I bought Red Hook, and I was at that party and was like, "This was really good." And then you were like, "That's an Anheuser-Busch beer," and I was like, "No."
I can't. No, I think that was. I think that actually happened. It's funny I think it happened when me and you used to just sit and watch TV together at
Yeah.
my house. You went and bought one, and we used to just sit and watch TV. And then
I think your brother was there. I think I was talking to your brother about it.
Yeah, well, I think it got Googled, but then I just remember like for the first like year we were hanging out, you would just be like, this fucking Beer Wars, man. They take up all the space on the couch.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and at the end, I don't drink at all. I shouldn't give a fuck what's happening in that section. Like, I don't care what's happening in like the tuna fish section of the store because
Yeah.
I don't eat tuna fish.
Right.
But in the beer aisle, I'm like, these mega breweries are taking over.
Yep.
And they're buying the micro. And you know why it bothered me more than anything? Because it is the same thing that happened with music when the major labels bought those little imprints and then they would release it as like an
Yeah.
indie album, but it was under Capitol Records.
Yeah.
It was like, that's not indie, dude.
Yeah.
So I think that's why it irritated me more than anything, because it's such a fake fucking thing. And it's like it really is. If you're a guy like you that's trying not to drink the Anheuser-Busch beers, it's really hard to just,
Yeah.
you know, you never know what you're buying, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not as hardcore as I used to be. I mean, it's not worth it. But
I
still,
loved it though.
But still, I mean, I would rather see my money go to a place, but that is a small business tyrant instead of a big corporation. You know?
That is the fucking other thing, right? It's like their point in this part of the letter, in just this paragraph, their point should stand. Where it's like Anheuser-Busch bought you.
Right.
It's not like you're selling less beer.
Yeah.
You're probably selling more beer. I can't imagine.
They deliver it. They open it to delivery. I mean, I get ads on my Facebook that says platform will deliver 6-packs to your house. You're within the zip codes that we deliver to. We'll bring them right to you.
Right. So I can't imagine that they have lost any money. The actual company.
Alcohol sales have gone up like crazy.
Yeah, they're probably doing fucking great. And to not give your employees hazard pay during this time, or to not take care of them for the year. What skin is it off your back? Platform's one of the biggest fucking local things in town.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's it is the lack of acknowledgement, like, oh wait, you work in our tap room. We used to have hundreds of people come there all weekend long and pay $1 per beer to drink, and they're not doing that anymore.
Yeah.
You know, maybe the $8 an hour that we're paying you isn't significant, you know, anymore.
Right. The Columbus tap.
And also, if I was working at a place and I knew that the people, if I knew what the structure of the business was going into Corona, if it was like, this is all we got, it's us here, and if this money goes, we don't got anything. Knowing that your people got bought out by a conglomerate like that, it's just like, that has trickle down. Come on. Do the Reagan thing. Mm-hmm. Do the Reagan thing. Give us a fucking trickle down. We need our payment. You're making a ton of money.
Right. If you're working for a restaurant that is just a locally owned restaurant, you still should be attempting to take care of your employees.
Right.
I'm not saying, but if I was working for a local restaurant right now, in my mind, I would be like, I understand, like, the people that own the restaurant are living off scraps. You know what I mean? Like, they eat all their meals there. Shit. I know some people.
Yeah, I don't know how they're paying me. Like, they're...
Yeah. But when Anheuser-Busch buys you and you're having record sales, just pay people $1,000
Eat the
a
cost.
week. Just pay people $1,000 a week. What's that going to
They're going to lose so much money in PR right now. So a lot of people will forget about this. A lot of people, I'm going to hold this against them forever. I hold the BP oil spill against BP gas stations. Still, I will not pull into a BP. It's all the same gas. I don't think it's different. I literally will drive right past any BP that I've been presented.
Same. I won't go to a BP. I haven't been to a BP since that goddamn oil spill.
I live off of these spiteful things, and there is so much beer, and like I said, they're not selling anything special. They're selling beer, which is readily available everywhere. I can get it into my house in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And
there's all kinds of people selling beer.
From now on, even if you recover, I don't care if you're still in business. It's not going to be with my dollars.
That's true.
You did the wrong thing when it counted. This is when it counted. This is the time to say, we have enough to bankroll our people it's 1 year. Mm-hmm. You have so much ahead of you. You just sold out. All you had to do was keep your people happy. You couldn't be decent to your employees, and you've spoiled the whole thing for everybody in Columbus.
Right, and you're totally right. I mean, that BP point is, like, really good. It's like, it's probably ineffective. It's the same thing with Walmart. I think I don't go to Walmart because I watch Walmart, the high cost of low prices.
Someone said that was their beer wars, was the high cost of low prices.
I watched that fucking movie, dude. I watched that fucking movie, and I was like, I'm never going to Walmart again. Fuck this, man. I can't believe the shit that they do, and I just don't go. It's not making any
psychic gasoline. Sorry,
okay.
Go ahead.
It's not making any dent in Walmart's profits. But I just don't go out of habit now. I just don't even have to go because it's just a habit. It's a Walmart. Well, I don't need to go there. You know what I mean? And the BP thing's the same thing. And platform will end up in that space in a lot of people's minds. But the difference between, I guess, like, if Anheuser-Busch is going to take them national, it might not hurt them too bad.
Sure.
But if they're not going to take them national, it's going to hurt them in Ohio forever. You know, it's all people in Ohio will all be like, fuck it. I mean, I even saw people like on Twitter on the story. It was great. They were like, started tasting like shit when Anheuser-Busch bought him anyway.
Yes!
Shit beer.
Yes! Yes! Be irrational. Let's be irrational.
Yeah.
We don't have to give them an inch.
Yeah, you don't have to be fair.
Never.
You don't got to be fair to them. You can just be like, it tastes like shit now. Hey, you tell your fucking wife, hey, a fucking platform tastes like dog shit. I don't know what happened.
Get a platform ad, say, my worst ex loved platform.
We should take out anti-platform ads on social media that just say, have y'all noticed that? Because all it takes, it's the same thing. Subway is a place that really, when they said the goddamn sandwiches are made out of yoga mats,
yeah, I
just quit going. I just was I don't need to eat yoga mats. But I eat Taco Bell, which is also made out of yoga mats.
Yeah.
I mean, I have part of my belief system is that Impossible Meat is yoga mats.
Sure.
But anyway, the Columbus Tap Room has weekdays where bartenders work 7 or 8 hours to walk away with $12 in tips.
Oof.
That's terrible. Kitchen staff, who make 3 times the hourly rate, have had their hours reduced, while bartenders have been told to make food, even when they're the only person working and must leave front of the house unattended.
Wow.
DTC drivers, I don't know what that is.
Direct-to-consumer.
Direct-to-consumer drivers have been told that they are now required to drive company vans instead of their own vehicles to save the company paying them mileage, reducing their pay an average of 50%.
Oh, snap. Wow.
Yeah, they're not paying for their gas and miles, but like the mileage payments really make a difference to people.
Right.
I've known a lot of
In the
people that
short
get paid
run.
mileage. Sure.
I mean,
but they need that money.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
I guess just getting paid to use your own car is never worth it, in my opinion. I would rather drive the company car.
But they need the money. They're just people that need that money now.
You're
and
paying
it doesn't
today
matter.
for car problems in the future.
Exactly. It's like when I drove for Lyft, right?
Yeah.
It is like, it wasn't a good deal for me, but it like, and I didn't make hardly any money, but I was able to pay my bills while I was trying to make this thing work.
Yeah, and all that. I mean, and you got money then, and now you need a new transmission and a whole engine.
I know. Now I'm just paying $3,000 to fix my car that I have to pay $3,000 left.
You got paid $3,000 to drive for Lyft and did that much in damage.
Yeah. But I mean, but I'm doing this for a living now because of that.
Yeah,
you know what I
sure.
mean? And it's like I'm sure that's the way they're looking at it. Because we're talking about like with the car thing, right? With mine, like it's not going to kill me to pay that. I'm like going to be fine paying that money.
And my wife gets checks for driving.
Yeah,
I love them.
I know.
They're separate from the paycheck. You do the paycheck, I do all the finances, and she's like, and $180 for miles last month, and I'm like, yeah, yes. Are you serious? Just for driving the car? Are you kidding me?
To a place you had to drive the goddamn car anyway?
Yeah.
Holy shit! Yeah. When I was roofing, we were working in Middletown, Ohio, which is about 90 minutes outside of Columbus. And me and, my brother-in-law were working together on the crew. He would drive, and he would just, the whole time driving home on that last day, he's like, they're going to give me so much money. That's 3 hours of driving, plus the drives to work. Is just going to be, I mean, it's a good few hundred. And it was just like, you're getting like an extra $200 on your check.
Yeah.
I'm not getting that.
Right.
So I do understand. I understand the complaint.
Yeah.
Because I need the money now. I don't need it later. And maybe I can make something happen so that when I do need the money later to fix the car, I have the money to fix the car.
Yeah, and this is also where like union or some sort of representation of workers really comes into play, because the owners, the company, they're like, all right, we want to do this because it saves us money, and then there needs to be a way for you to say like, hey, we'll drive your vehicles if that works on the books, if that makes it work better for you, that's fine. But there's a certain level of income that I am accustomed to.
Exactly.
I'm not. You think that you're paying this? You think you're paying me this amount for my salary, and then the mileage is something that I spend on car. I put in my car repair, like savings account or something. That's not what's happening at all. I'm spending all of that money. I'm relying on that money. So you have to pay me the same money, and I'll still drive your van. I'll drive whatever fucking van you give me.
My car repair savings account.
My envelope. I have a cash envelope. I have an envelope full of cash in my house for my car repair savings.
Never spend that money on anything but the car.
Never. I haven't touched it. Even when I'm hungry, even when my belly's touching my spine, I don't even spend it on a $1 bag of bread and some cheese.
When it's my wife and I's anniversary and we want to have a really nice dinner together and we don't have any money coming in, I still don't touch that money. I'd rather divorce my wife than touch that money. That's car money.
Yeah,
right
that's
there.
the car money. We know it.
Platform Beer Company has spent thousands of dollars installing a movie theater in the Columbus tap room, has required shorthanded and overworked bartenders to man the pop-up truck in a sales capacity, while the salaried sales team is not required to, and is actively expanding and working to open more physical locations.
Right. So you're spending money.
Yeah, that's the other thing. They're spending money. Hey,
if things are bad, I know when, like, I can do that. Like, it's so dishonest.
Yeah. Don't spend money like that now.
Not in front of my face.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Maybe by the end of the year, you could put that movie theater in your place and nobody's going to fucking get mad about it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But right now, there's no point in putting a movie theater in your fucking brewery. You know?
Somebody's lost, 25, 30, 40% of their income that they used to get from tips. And they're figuring out, like, can I live on less? Can I just live off of the hourly wage that I'm getting from Platform as a bartender? And also being told to cook and run a food truck and to do these other things. And they're managing those feelings. And you're like, we're going to put in a movie theater. It's going to be epic.
Yeah. And the problem, and the movie theater isn't really going to be you.
No. Like, nobody wants to see a goddamn movie.
Nobody's trying to sit and watch a movie yet.
Are you renting it out?
You know,
That is just lunacy.
I think so too.
The only thing you should be debuting is outdoor patios, rooftop bars, places where you have like an IV that you walk around with or something. Just something safer.
I gotta say, who the fuck goes to a bar? First of all, they can't play new movies. It's not like you can go there and see the latest movie. You got to go there and watch like the Monster Squad or something like that.
Drunkards like that stuff. They'll watch Anchorman. They could do an Anchorman night or like a Big Lebowski night every Thursday and watch 100,000 people show up to that thing.
I guess you're right. Yeah. I mean, I've seen there is a pizza place in town that has a projector on the side of a building, and it's outdoors.
It's tight.
And they'll show like Family Guy and shit like that on there, and I just never see anybody paying attention to that. It's just on.
They're also open from 2 to 4 a.m.
Yeah, that's cool. But I'm just saying, like,
That's like I like to watch Karate Kid like at 2 to 4 a.m.
you're drunk.
The next Karate Kid, the Hilary Swank one, the good one.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff they show.
Yeah. I want to put some like unicorn sauce on a piece of pizza while I'm like trying not to get the spins.
Yes.
You need those. Yeah, those power down places are important because too many people, they cut you off at 2 and then you're like, what are we supposed to do except for throw up at our house all night long?
I just don't know why you put a movie theater in now when you can honestly take care of your employees, not have this press issue, and put the movie theater in November. And it's good press. Putting a movie theater in a fucking bar right now is not good press.
You could buy 3 giant Jengas for $180 and set those motherfuckers up and get more than a movie theater is going to get for you.
Outside. Yeah. Just put shit outside. Yes. You don't need shit indoors.
Stay away shit.
Yeah. The above examples.
I don't need to be cozied up next to anybody right now.
I know. And that's the thing I've been thinking about a lot is like, you could be doing the right thing and getting good press and also still have what you have later on in the year. When more people are vaccinated at the end of the year, do stuff like that. That's great.
And here's the thing. I'm going to tell you what, at Street Fighters, like I have a genius brain for capitalism that I'm refusing to use for that. But if you haven't figured out by now with these businesses, you could give $5,000 to all of your employees, spend $50,000 advertising that you did it, and make $500,000 immediately.
That is true. You're fucking 100% right. And you know they got the money after InBev bought them.
Yes.
You know they probably paid like $30 million, some crazy number for it, you know? Because, I mean, doesn't Anheuser-Busch just pay fucking massive amounts of money for this stuff?
I would expect so.
Yeah, I would expect them to just be like, hey, here's fucking $35 million for this, and now we own it.
I don't think they would buy a rickety old brewery that's on its last leg. I think they would buy one that has some cash and knows what they're doing and is making a lot of money. They're investing in brands that return on their money.
I have to assume that Anheuser-Busch didn't come to Platform, that Platform came to Anheuser-Busch. That's what I have to assume.
I don't know how that works.
I don't either, but I assume that like Anheuser-Busch isn't out there like, we got to buy these. Well, I guess because Platform's one of the biggest ones in town, and they sold. So the above examples showed
it's Shark Tank, man. It's Shark Tank. It's like, but that's what regular business is. It's like conglomerates try to buy out people, and that's where all of this, like the fintech infrastructure comes from, is creating businesses that can eventually be bought out by sharks.
Yeah,
you know?
It's interesting because that's like Cheryl's Cookies. You know Cheryl's Cookies, right? Like, I don't know if that's a national thing.
I don't know if it is either.
But there's a company from Columbus, Ohio called Cheryl's Cookies. They had them in every mall. I read this story recently. Well, actually, I was out taking a walk, and I passed by this place called C. Kruger's Cookies. And I looked in the door, and it fucking was Cheryl's Cookies. I was like, this must be like a high dollar Cheryl's Cookies. And then I got a news story in my email, and it was fucking the Cheryl from Cheryl's Cookies, but she's not allowed to use the name Cheryl anymore. So she's just making cookies, you know? She was like, I'm passionate about cookies. I'm allowed to make cookies. Not like she had signed this thing. She had sold out, and she signed this thing, and now she's trying to start from scratch again, but maybe do something a little smaller. because it doesn't matter because you made a shitload of money off the original sale. But, the pandemic ended up hitting and the place downtown is closed now. But the amounts of money that I saw in that article it was just an astronomical amount of money to buy a cookie shop when you could just make, you can figure out the recipe by eating a cookie.
Yeah, you could back.
There's people that could do that very easily.
Yeah, you could do some backward research to figure out what it was. Well, we talked about it on a Shark Tank episode, but Famous Amos also sold his cookie recipe and had to come back, tried to make his own cookies again. Cookie
broke.
Industry is fucked up.
Yeah, he sold them for nothing.
Yeah.
That was the problem. Yeah. So the above examples show that this is a pointed effort to both reduce company overhead and to pass the responsibility of paying your employees a living wage onto the customers. We believe it is unethical and unrealistic to expect employees to continue taking on more hours and more responsibility for the same low wages, all while spending copious amounts of money expanding the brand during a time of crisis when we are barely getting by.
Spit it. That's right. It's you can't take from people forever. You've grown arrogant where you think, well, these fucking idiots, they need a job anyways, and they know we're in tough times. We're just going to ask them to take the brunt of this. And why would they ever take why would they ever, what stakes do they have in platform fucking beer? Zero.
So I'll tell you this, it's a wrestling thing. WWE, they laid a bunch of people off, last year. They also, didn't give bonuses to their corporate workers and the people that work for the company. And they made record profits last year by a lot. So
and they signed crazy deals too.
Yeah. So they didn't have to, they actually didn't have to lay anybody off. They could have just paid people and they would have made record profits even then. They and like, I think a lot of Kroger, it's closing stores because they don't want to pay hero pay.
Yep.
And that to me is like, Kroger, you're doing pretty good. I go into the Kroger a lot. Okay.
Kroger's is busy all the time.
It's busy and they're always out of everything. They're selling a lot of shit and like, they're not hurting. So I think a lot of people, it's a scuzzy thing businesses are doing. It's that, hey, we're doing okay, but we could always do better.
Yeah.
And we'll just get rid of more people. We'll just fire people.
Yeah.
Who fucking cares? Yeah.
And the big term that's come out during Corona is right sizing. Instead of downsizing, instead of saying we're firing people, it's saying, you know what? We got a workload on our hand that, we got too many people on this. We have to get right. We have to do it the right way. We need to get rid of the people that we don't need to keep this thing rolling.
They also don't generally have too many people. They actually don't have, they might have enough people.
Right.
And then when they right size, there's not enough people.
Everybody's going to do more or you're going to get right sized.
Yes. In addition, 3 employees from our tap rooms have been diagnosed with COVID-19 in the last 6 months, with exposure to at least one more known case. We employees were officially notified of only 2 instances. One of the employees diagnosed with COVID was kitchen staff. We never closed. We were never notified officially in order to specifically disinfect the area or to get tested ourselves. And the contact tracer sheets have never been used to notify the public of an outbreak in the tap room. The tracer sheet is only being used as a device to lure customers to the tap room and give them a false sense of security. We believe the measures platform has put into place are for legal reasons only, and that the safety of staff and the public are secondary. This is an unethical, unsafe, and deceptive practice. We have uncontrollable black mold in our back cooler when the food is stored. Yep.
Wait, they started talking about a sheet and they ended up with biological warfare.
This is another thing. This is another good move on their part. Because it's like, fuck this company anyway. If y'all was thinking like you're going to eat here anyway, there's also black mold all over all the food.
Hey, COVID is fucking crazy. Maybe it was just created by the Democrats to get Donald Trump out of office, but there's black mold at those tap rooms. I do like that. I like that because it's also the same thing that it's the same thing that you came to, which I haven't dealt with, but you know somebody that had COVID and you got to see how the internal workings of the bureaucracy informed people
Of the school.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
I did.
You at school, you got to see what happens when someone gets COVID. Do you get an email? Do you get a phone call? Who do they notify? What's that protocol there? And then you realize there's no protocol. Like
Yeah, they're
when
doing
you
a
tell
really bad job.
Yeah, when you tell somebody someone got COVID, they're like, really? I didn't want to tell people.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to tell people that COVID happened here. And then you just wait until nobody remembers.
10 days.
Yeah.
Not 10 days from last symptoms, just 10 days.
10 days.
From
Get out
the
of here.
10. We have uncontrollable black mold in our black cooler where the food is stored. The mold is currently breaching the wall to our main cooler where it attaches itself to our cans and cardboard boxes, and we have to use bar rags to wipe it off of cans on a regular basis.
No!
But you know what?
I drove there to get special edition beer in the middle of the afternoon because they said it was limited edition. It was covered in black mold.
Yeah. It's
They
interesting.
were wiping the mold off the top.
And you have to, I mean, you should say stuff like that.
Yeah,
when
I
you're
don't
doing
think
these
that's a
things.
secret. I don't want that to be a secret.
Yeah, don't keep that a secret, man. Make that, like, widely known because, I mean, if that kind of shit is going on, look.
Let's keep it COVID. Let's keep it COVID. Right?
Yeah.
Let's talk about infections. Let's talk about transmittable diseases.
Yeah. Yeah. We have made it known that closing alone is an unsafe practice, and despite acknowledgement from management, the schedule continues to cut hours and have bartenders closing alone multiple days a week. We lost our GM in January. The position has not been properly filled in a month, nor has the company had anyone lined up for the position
No,
yet.
that means everybody's doing their job. They're like, can you do this? Jim used to do this. Can you count the kegs
Oh yeah,
at the end of the night?
They're giving you like more responsibilities, which looks good for you.
Yeah.
But it never translates to pay.
No, they're going to bring somebody out. They're going to bring somebody from outside off of Craigslist or one of their friends. They're just going to bring one of their frat buddies on to be your fucking new GM.
Dude.
While you were sitting there and doing the end of the night logs and all that.
They're just going to create a lead position is what they're going to do so that they don't even have to cover that spot. They'll just be like, oh, you're a lead now. Which a lead just makes the same amount as all the employees, but has all the responsibility of a manager.
Yeah.
Lead position should be outlawed. Put that on my list of things we should be able to outlaw.
I agree. I think there should be some sort of established
Chain of command?
Yeah, yeah. Because lead is unacceptable.
Lead is the most unacceptable position in the fucking world. I was a lead at the cable company for about 3 months, and all it was more work. It was there. I was like, what's my pay for being the lead? And they were like, it's not like really an official. It was like assistant to the assistant manager on The Office when Dwight says that.
It looks really good around here. Like, we're always trying to hire leads. It's like, no, you're not. You hire people directly out of college.
You're not hiring a lead. If you're not making any more money, it's not a lead.
I'm the lead for a dumbass that's never had a job before and is now my manager. Something with a shipping and logistics degree.
It says this has had a detrimental effect on the operations. All of the areas of concern listed in this letter were brought to our previous GM's attention. The previous GM then had advocated on our behalf for some or all of the issues through the proper channels, but nothing was ever addressed appropriately. I think, maybe the GM... that may be why the GM's not around anymore.
The GM might have got cancer out of nowhere and had to peace out on the job.
Well, he might have got fired.
No, they said they left in January, right?
No, they said they lost their GM.
Oh, yeah, right. Fired, yeah. Sounds like a bad GM.
They're saying here that the GM advocated on their behalf and went through the proper channels to get the problems fixed, and nothing ever happened, and now the GM's gone.
Okay.
And it just feels like maybe they trusted that guy. You know what I mean? Or whoever the GM was, maybe they trusted them.
Well, yeah, or I think it's more just like a matter of evidence of saying, hey, we reached out to the GM, we went through the proper channels.
Yeah, this isn't something that's out of the blue.
Yeah.
This is something that's been brewing. We like the dynamic we have with each other and we like the work. But the short-sightedness of massively downsizing labor costs, underappreciating employees, and ignoring the health and safety of staff in more ways than one is frustrating. We think the brand and staff both suffer for it. Our time here, while well spent in the past, has come to feel both unsafe and exploitative, and numerous grievances have led us here today. For the reasons listed above and others, we have all resigned. The tap room is closed and locked. Regards, the entire Columbus tap room staff.
Woo!
That is a great.
Keep on rocking in the free world, right?
Yeah, and you know,
fuck you and you and you. You're all out of here.
Yes, and so
I did that once.
You like just got the whole
staff.
Leave?
Yeah. When I worked at this clothing store with the boss that would come in super drunk on Friday nights or Saturday nights, they would come in, they were wasted, and they would yell at us and treat us like shit. After enough times, I was like, it's really like the beginning of Street Fight. It was like, we can go get jobs anywhere else. Like, this is a shitty job that pays minimum wage. There are so many other places that are offering that. So let's just all leave tonight. And so we left a voicemail and just said, to fuck you, Lynn. You're a drunk ass B word.
Yeah.
You're awful, all that stuff. And we hung up and then we all left and never showed up again. It was the best.
Right. So Platform did respond to this. So we'll read their response and then we'll I was surprised at how quickly they had a response. But I guess you have to have, you're big time and you have to have PR in place, or at least someone that can handle these type of situations. Right.
Because I would have just crumbled. If I would have crumbled, I'd been like, fuck, that looks so bad.
Let's close.
Yeah, I'm
this
done.
Place, man. I don't want to do this no more.
Shuttered it. Yeah.
Is there somebody at Anheuser-Busch that can take this over for me and leave me the fuck out of it?
Hire someone to do my job. Fire me, please.
A lot of what I saw on Twitter under the thing was there were a lot of employees coming out and calling the owner out by name. His name was Justin, and saying he's an asshole. He's always been an asshole, and that's the reason why they quit.
Right.
And then an interesting thing that I did see was there was an account that was brand new that had one follower, and I think followed like one person, and they were calling the employees bums and lazy and stuff. And I was like, that's Justin. That's Justin.
Yeah, that's
Justin's got a burner account and he's fucking calling people lazy and shit.
He's desperate. He's desperate. He doesn't want his public image fucked up. He's gonna get screenshotted responding to these employees or letting him know that they heard him. He's like Dave Ramsey in that way.
Yeah.
And that like he wants to clobber these people, these low level employees, but he knows it looks bad and he can't make it out. So he just goes on there with his burner and just tries to make him feel bad.
He's probably pacing. He probably did pace around his house all day, like really pissed.
Walk in circles, yeah.
Like just so hot under the collar.
These
about
fucking
the whole
people, yeah. He just kept looking. These fucking people. Can you believe this? Can you believe this? He's just doing that all day.
Yeah, Terry down there, he don't do shit.
He doesn't have his fucking head on right. He never did.
Yeah, he's mad at each individual employee talking shit about him, So they said today, February 27th, several employees at our Columbus taproom location abruptly resigned. We take this action extremely seriously.
Oh, you should.
Yeah, and we're currently gathering more information about the issues that were raised.
It's a threat on your whole existence, dog.
Yeah, while we met with current and former employees to learn more, we are temporarily closing our Columbus taproom.
Okay.
First of all, that's interesting. That they said we take this action extremely seriously and currently gathering more information about the issues that were raised. It's like, I just read all the issues that were raised in the letter. And then I saw pictures of the black mold on the beer. Like somebody posted pictures of the black mold, which is also another move,
You know what? I'm not gonna pick I'm gonna try to be unbiased and say they get a pass. You have to acknowledge that some issues were raised whenever you do one of these posts. You get away with a lot just by saying, hey, we were looking at the issues raised. It's like, which ones exactly, though? Because I saw them on Reddit, I saw them on Twitter. I want to know which ones exactly.
Some people say some shit, and some people have been saying some stuff, and yeah, we heard them. You know,
it's like, no, you didn't.
we heard about this. You know, we're all on social media together. You know, we found out about this when you did.
The only thing they found out about is that like someone called them and someone said that the store is closed downtown in Columbus right now.
And
That's all they know.
They went on,
and they hate the people that didn't show up to work because it fucked their day up.
They went on Reddit too. I can guarantee they were on Reddit and Twitter and Facebook.
Sure,
but they were probably on their Facebook page for sure.
I don't think the employees investigated it very much.
What do you mean?
I can't imagine. I don't know. I can't imagine the PR people, the upper crust people. I don't think they give a shit at all why the people did it. I think they're just trying to come up with the best message to pretend like they care. So I don't think they actually investigated the claims of anybody beyond the letter that was posted. Do
you think it's a PR firm? Or is it really them?
It's not a PR firm.
Justin and Paul Benner.
It's not a PR firm, but like we have a PR firm in the way that like if I wanted to make a serious announcement or if I want to do things, I will consult with people and say, how does this look or sound?
Okay, so that's what you think these guys did, was like, we're going to write this thing. Over the last year, our priority has been the health and safety of our employees and our guests. That don't sound true, though. We have implemented health and safety protocols that closely follow the CDC and local health authority guidelines, including contact tracing and proper communication following positive cases of COVID-19. Now, that whole paragraph sounds like a lie to me, because those are specific things that were addressed in it. And I did see the black mold. So the health and safety of your guests is kind of odd. Platform was founded in 2014 on the premise that collaboration should be the cornerstone of everything that we do. This principle guides us as we brew beer and work to support the communities in our 6 locations across Ohio. Since day one, we have prided ourselves on working together to be the best brewer in the state and supporting our full team that works so hard towards that goal. It just doesn't sound that way, though. It sounds like, no. I mean, if what the employees are saying that they're making $12 at the end of a night, you're not taking care of their health and safety and well-being, it doesn't sound like.
Yeah, I think, to me, honestly, the way I'm feeling right now about this is that the employees feel severely fucked up, and you're just, like, this is what I'm getting at, is that they're just writing what they want people to think.
Exactly.
This is not a response to anything. This is not a response. This is them dictating, they said they felt unsafe. I'm sorry, we had tracer charts, you know.
They didn't do it.
Yeah,
they didn't do it.
We had guidelines in place. Technically, we had guidelines in place. So even if they point out all the holes in our guidelines, it doesn't deny the fact that we had guidelines in place.
True. We are committed to making sure all of our employees know that their feedback will be heard anytime and anywhere. Starting on Monday, we will be scheduling small group conversations with all employees across all locations as an open forum to ask questions so we can address any issues immediately.
Never.
What do you think you're going to get out of that?
How, that to me, that once again, this sounds like a computer. This sounds like PR. This sounds like marketing. It sounds like you would never dare listen to what your employee's saying, because the whole reason we're here is what your employees said. The only response to this is that we feel bad that these people felt this way by working for us, and we want to make it right, and we want to implement changes.
The changes that they've requested.
Yes.
By the way.
Telling them that, like, all right, we did everything right. Those people walked away. Now we're going to harass all the other people that work for us and make them tell us that we do something bad. You know, we're going to say, tell me I did something wrong. We'll take it right now. I'm listening. I'm fucking listening. What do you have to say about what I fucking did wrong? What do you have to say?
It's going to be an aggressive meeting.
You wanted this. You wanted it. You think you can just walk off this job? You think in the middle of coronavirus, you think that you shouldn't be grateful for what you have? Tell me what I'm doing fucking wrong.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it'll be super aggressive, but
no, that's the undertones.
The undertone is going to be like, all right, we're all gathered. You know, it's an open forum. You can say whatever you want about this.
And everybody just sits around and darts eyes at each other, and they're like, well, if no one has anything to say, I'll close the floor for questions, and we'll get back to work.
Well, if nobody has anything to say, I just want to say this.
You're right.
I mean,
You're right. I fucked up on that detail. I fucked up on that detail.
I'll just say this, and then I'll plead their case. But they won't.
We love you. We love the hell out of you. We don't want to be going through all this. We don't want you quitting in the middle of the day. But just don't expect things to be different.
Yeah, they're not going to make any changes.
Yeah,
not at all. No, I don't believe.
You know what you're going to get here. You know, we don't want you to expect nothing different.
I mean, this is a company that doesn't even need the tap rooms to be open. Like, they could probably make better money.
They're selling drugs.
I know. Well, they could probably make better money just paying the employees to stay home and closing the tap rooms until people can go back out at full capacity.
The governor of Ohio said you can drive their products to people's houses. It's legal distribution of fucking alcohol.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's just so many ways they could have handled the coronavirus, and they decided to handle it in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
So, that's the end of the show. Fuck Platform Beer, man. What the hell? And Kia. You know what?
Kia, too.
Kia and Platform Beer, you're taking shrapnel. Maybe those companies will go out of business now.
Someday, I hope. Thanks for listening to Street Fight Radio. I hope you enjoyed the Basement Show. We'll be back on Sunday. We're taking calls this week from all y'all. The number to dial is I don't know it off the top of my head. I shouldn't have said that. That was stupid.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. It's something 655.
That was a flub. It was a flub.
655
3887
3887 614 655 3887.
All right. Thanks for saving me there.
But that actually doesn't matter. It's not like people are going to be listening to this show.
They're writing it down.
Time. No, they're not.
They're getting a big pen out and writing it on paper.
They're in their notes app, like I am, typing out my case number for Kia.
Yep. To forever forget it. Thanks for listening. If you want more of what we do, we are on all the social media. You can find Brian on Twitter. He's MurderXBrian on Twitter. We also share stuff on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook under the name Street Fight WCRS. And then follow us on twitch.tv/StreetFightRadio. I play video games there on Twitch. We're getting Brian set up soon to do some video game streaming there as well.
Yeah, who knows what I'll do. I'll probably play videos, play video games, fuck around with my friends and stuff. Once I'm up and running, I plan to have a lot of fun with Twitch at night. And, probably play some Hitman 3.
It's a great game.
I love Hitman. All right, I got to get home and watch the rest of this Tony Robbins documentary and then The Shield.
Man, I listened to Tony Robbins talk to Evander Holyfield. Just made me feel so insignificant. Just two guys trading like amazing stories. Just like Evander Holyfield is like, when I was 8 years old, an old man looked at me and said, "You're going to be the world heavyweight champion. What do you think about that?" And he said, "I got to ask my mom first." And I went home and I asked my mom and she said, "Yes, you can." And so I did. I became the world heavyweight. And I'm just like, what am I doing, man? I could have just picked when I was 8 and done it.
Yeah.
Such a loser.
Tony Robbins is my therapist.
He's great.
But I don't want to talk about it now because I'll burn it for the show tomorrow. But you're going to hear a lot of weird... You're going to hear Tony Robbins is burrowing his way into my stupid brain.
Yeah, so, I'm a big fan.
It always happens.
He still gets me rolling.
These guys. I think we're going to do Susie Orman next.
Yeah, Susie Orman. We covered the financial ghouls. Now we need to cover the financial gals.
Yeah, and the financial ones are really fun. Just out of just pure like comedy value. The financial ones are maybe more fun than Tony Robbins.
Honestly, I could do this for a while. Like, I want to do some good. I want to do some legit good ones. There's some good books that I like.
We'll do more.
Like the War of Art, or like Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Like, there's some of those that I would love to hear what you think after listening to them.
Well, I don't know that there's any hard date to be done with Get Motivated, so we'll be good.
All right, Susie Orman though she's great.
Yeah.
I used to love staying up in the middle of the night and getting yelled at her on the TV, smoking another fucking bowl of weed. All right, we'll see you on Sunday. Peace. We are doing Gary V.